Choose your fighter. Lightning inspired.
Let me go! Like, why is this fight mandatory?
You did it!
All right.
There. Okay, round 2. Here we go. Think I have a better way to approach this. Hey Andy, how you doing? Welcome to Casey's About to Rage Hour. No, okay, so this bitch, this bubblegum bitch on top of this thing's head, you need to kill all other party members except one in order to capture her, and so I did that and it took forever, and she ended up killing me in the end. I'm doing all right. How are you? How's life been treating you? It's weak to water and lives in water. Okay, don't heal her too much. Maybe there's a better way of doing this. Is there any other option? Like, can one party member just leave, or do both have to escape? Fuck it, honestly.
Well, that ought to do it.
That wasn't so bad.
Like, I don't know how to do that without going crazy.
We did it!
Good job.
Oh, so, how's RuneScape been? I was just talking to, I was talking to Habit, how, like, I feel motivated to, like, write today, so after streaming, that's probably what I'm gonna do, and I'm actually excited. Because it's been a minute since I found, like, the motivation to... Not motivation, just, like, stuff to write about. How do you know I play RuneScape? Subtle hints. You could say I have a sixth sense.
Here, help yourselves. Much like me. You haven't ever been and never will be mature, Seraphy.
No, I don't need two Cerberuses. Billy. Stalking me on Discord? Well... wait, hold on. How do you stalk someone on Discord? There's probably an explanation for it. I think Discord's very confusing. I can really only manage to see what they are playing. I don't know. I can't find people on Discord. Which I try to find friends and stuff to start our own, like my friends from high school, to start our own little like Discord server, and then we could like chat with each other, do video calls, but I couldn't fucking I can't find anyone on Discord. I think it's confusing. That's what it turns into? I thought it would be a water turtle.
shoes on. Welcome.
Yes, I can buy so many items. You can only buy 2 at a time. Ice damage. Lightning marble. I feel like that's a good one to have. Like, I definitely need more fire damage. Because I don't have enough fire folk in my party. Thinking about finishing Phantom Hourglass today, at least recording it, because I still haven't finished it. But I don't know, it's getting hot. Yeah, okay, Andy, do you know for the past 2 days, 2 to 3 days, it's been 107 to 108 degrees. So that's why Will and I haven't been streaming for like 3 or 4 days. Because we just can't. I still haven't finished Phantom Hourglass. I meant to record the ending a little while ago, but I just never got around to it.
Chocoboco, bye now!
Hope you ended soon. The ending is pretty good. I would tell you to do the long side quests to get the spin attack. So, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't exactly know how to feel about Phantom Hourglass. Because it's like, you have Wind Waker, which is such an amazing game, especially the not remastered, but like the HD version, where everything looks so crisp, and the style is really nice, and the style of combat is really nice. And then Phantom Hourglass, Phantom Hourglass, like, I don't know how to feel about it. It just feels so... And that's the other thing. I just don't mean to be, like, negative. But these are just my honest thoughts. It's just very... I think it doesn't live up to Wind Waker. I think that's the best way to put it. I don't know. I'm sure, like, if I played it when it came out, I have a different opinion. But it's just like, you don't have the King of Red Lions anymore. You just have this guy who's like a mega pussy pirate.
Let's make this.
Well, that ought to do it.
All right.
Well, he turned into human again. That's why the King of Red Lions is not back. Yeah, he also drowned. The whole ocean crushed him. Which is honestly one of my worst fears. No, I get why the— here's the thing. I get why the King of Red Lions isn't back, but you still have his boat. Like, at the end of Wind Waker, you still have his boat. Is that his, like, you know how snakes shed their skin? Is that what his boat is?
This might not end well for you.
Oh, you keep the boat. Don't remember. Yeah, at the ending of Wind Waker, you keep the Red Lion boat, but then in Phantom Hourglass, you don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Predictable.
Might be a shed skin. Like, and in the beginning of Phantom Hourglass, they don't say why you don't have your boat. You just don't have your boat. Or any of the stuff you acquire during Wind Waker.
No.
Link needed a fresh start. Okay, Link needed a fresh start to do basically the exact same thing he did in the last game. But instead of Ganon, he has to fight, like, the Ocean King's arch rival. And this, if you think about Phantom Hourglass in, like, it's just like
Sorry.
a fucking high school bully. Just like, oh, I'm gonna target the King of the Ocean.
You did it.
Well, that is called destiny. It ain't his fault he keeps running into trouble. Okay, I think I mentioned this in Skyward Sword. Can you imagine how tiring it is to be reincarnated as the exact same person and do the exact same thing in all of your fucking lives? And to be told about it again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
All right.
He doesn't keep his memories from the other I think only Ganon does. Might be wrong there. Well, Ganon is just like, I'm powerful. Kneel to me! That's his whole thing. Which, it kind of like... It makes me wonder. Like, is Ganon actually... Is he actually a bad person? Or is it the Triforce and the goddesses that gave him so much power, like, altered his head? Like, I know he wants power, and he's the only male of the Demise or Ganondorf. Which one do you like more? Demise can suck it. Like, I don't mean to be crude, but Demise can suck a fat one. I hated that fight. It was... Fighting Ganondorf and all the other Zelda games was fine. Fighting Demise with the Switch controls was, terrible.
All right.
Good times for... Yeah. There were such good times for everyone, it was. Does this area have a
Don't let your
secret?
guard down.
I don't think so.
Well, that ought to do it.
Victory!
But yeah, I really wonder if the Triforce has side effects. Like giving... How is that?
Let's make this
Oh, it's a
quick.
sandworm. I ain't gonna do anything. Now, this is the thing, and I know I've said this before about Skyward Sword, but the characters are great, the worlds are great, the story is great, it's just the fucking control. I'm sorry, I'm talking to someone in Discord, so I've not been hearing if you have asked me stuff. Oh, you're all good.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
We're just talking about Skyward Sword. But yeah, I like Skyward Sword, except the controls. I don't think the cursed demise put on the hero and the goddess highly is why Ganondorf is evil. He got... Yeah, I think there's just side effects to being part of the Triforce. You know, I was talking about this last night. So, besides Wind Waker and Skyward Sword, I never got the impression that Link and Zelda were in love. I'm talking about Ganondorf being affected by the Triforce. I never got the impression, especially in Twilight Princess, I never got the impression, and I know that they're supposed to be like, I know Link and Zelda are supposed to be like bound by the Triforce, which is fine, but like if you look online, it's like, oh, who's Link's love, who's Zelda's love, and they say like each other, and I just never got that impression. But the Triforce just gets you what you desire most.
I'm ready when you...
So, did Link desire courage? Because in Ocarina of Time, in Skyward Sword, and I guess in some parts of Twilight Princess, he got told that he's just like a lazy piece of shit. Maybe not in that wording, but he just got told that he was lazy a lot, so did he want courage, or was it just kind of given to him? So if the evil touches it, it splits into the 3 parts, and the wisdom and courage goes into the... Ew.
No trouble at all.
I'm excited. After Will's done with Final Fantasy XIV, he's gonna be playing Majora's Mask. Why in Ocarina of Time when Ganondorf tried to get the Triforce after Link
won't take
open?
long.
No kid gloves for you.
Power, peace, and Zelda and Link got wisdom and courage. You know, I also, in some parts, I feel bad for Zelda because I guess she's just destined to be like kidnapped
You did it!
for all of her reincarnations. And that has to be a little depressing to think about. And the thing is, like, Link doesn't know his reincarnations, but I feel like Zelda definitely does. 'Cause, I don't know, she's royalty and smart and shit. So, I feel like she definitely knows what's going on.
When you are.
That would drive me insane. I don't know, but she's wise, so it doesn't bother her. Yeah, Zelda's destined to be the and I feel like
I'm
she
ready when you
knows
are.
too.
Oh, please, piece of cake.
Well, Zelda in Skyward Sword knows that she's the reincarnation. So I feel like knowing her, she would pass that information down to whoever came after her. If she could. Now, I'm not sure if the reincarnations are right after one another, or it's like a gap and then they get reincarnated, and then a gap and then they get reincarnated. I have 3 Zelda books that Will got me for my birthday. And I think they explain that. I got one about the world. I got one about the definitions of everything, and then I got one about terminology. There we go. So one about the world, about terminology, and then one about history of the worlds.
I've got this.
Yeah!
I know more about, like, the Witcher world and the Zelda world more than I do about US history. Here's the thing, I never played Zelda as a kid, so I didn't understand the hype. And then I played Wind Waker.
No trouble at all.
Victory!
I really only played Shadow the Hedgehog, and I played Little Big Planet, I played Time Splitters. But yeah, I never played any Zelda games. I didn't even know about them. Well, okay, I heard this when I was watching Game Grumps, and I absolutely agree as to why a lot of people don't remember like actual history. It's because it's like it's a subject that's taught to you in a boring way in a boring environment. So of course it doesn't stick. Because like some teachers really put like the effort in, and well, here's the thing. I know sometimes some students are just downright like they won't listen no matter what you do. And there's nothing teachers can do about that. Or there's very little teachers can actually do about that. But it's like what I was saying earlier, like teachers who have just given up and trying to teach the students. And of course, like the students don't learn anything.
No trouble at all.
Because the teacher's bored teaching it, so why would kids pay attention to it? Not to mention, it's taught in a very crammed way. So it's like you learn about history, but then you also have to cram like 7 other subjects in as well.
Just 'cause we're... Victory!
know, maybe that's why college was so easy. Because it's like, everything I'm learning is stuff I actually want to learn. For the most part. A lot of my photography classes were also taught by teachers who, I think just... I think they were bored teaching their subject, and in turn, like, it just affected the class. Maybe that was just me. I doubt it. You're more interested. Well, it's just like, yeah, some college courses which were mandatory were really hard to get through just because, I don't know, I understand some teachers have like seniority, but I mean, if you've been there for years and you're not interested in your subject anymore, and like not even enough to really teach it or make it interesting. Can I say something about a beautifully made video? Yeah, sure. You're all good.
Stand back while I handle this.
No trouble at all.
Victory!
Why is it making a horse noise?
Well, that ought to do it.
What the hell was that? What was that, like, death smoke? That's cigarette smoke.
Let's make this.
Yeah.
How about you're doing good? You have 11 points to use. And just like that, you're all done. Wow. I think that's what I'll do. Instead of coming up with names, who's ever in chat, I'll just name it after them. You're super strong now, yay! Yeah, and then if no one is in chat, then I'll figure something out. No one's in chat, you call them nobody alone, agony, stuff like that. No, that's not depressing, that's emo. And as you all know, I am an emo aficionado. I revel in the angst. I know, I am insulted. Little baby Sheila. Okay, I'm not in rage mode, so you're good. I'm actually relaxed right now, if you can believe it. No, I have no idea what game I'm gonna play next. We'll do a spinning wheel.
Oh, please. That was a good fight.
That wasn't so bad.
No, Will's playing Majora's Mask. I refuse to play Majora's Mask. So Casey, so Andy,
Won't take long.
you're fishing. For what? Fish or compliments? What do I need to do? In RuneScape. Okay, okay. The story has a good beginning. Don't leave me in suspense. That was the entire that was the entire story. You know, that story just reminds me, in 8th grade, I was telling my teacher a story, and
Victory!
yeah, they do have a crazy amount of XP. I was telling my teacher a story, and then I just stopped, and he was just like, "Oh, that's it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I love stories that end abruptly."
Let's make this.
But, okay, Andy, that's not... You can't leave me with a cliffhanger like, what kind of fish? What are you fishing for? You can't just do this to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Fishing for boots. Fishing for an anglerfish and sharks. Well, don't fish for sharks because they're really dangerous.
For you.
This won't take
And they need to be in the water. Sharks are very important to the ecosystem.
Stand back while I handle this.
Sharks are very important. But they're important for the ocean.
good fight.
Good job.
We need them. Puerto Rico, we
Let's
do
make this
fish
quick.
some. I need some, so I should get me some shark. So, fishing for sharks, or shark fins, I should say, for like different types of soup, has actually been coming kind of a problem because what'll happen is like, some like a lot of fishing industries will take the shark and then cut its fin off, and then like they either won't use the rest of the shark to make it like worth it, I guess, or they'll like cut the top fin off and then put it back in the water, which ultimately just kind of kills it. Not kind of. It ultimately just kills it because the fish or the shark can't swim properly without that back fin. I don't think there's a Is there a secret area? That is it. Cut the top fin off and throw. Exactly, and that's why it's becoming a big problem. And it's messing up. I forget in which area they're doing that amount of fishing. I believe it's more. I mean, it would have to be more eastward because that's where a lot of the sharks are. Not really in my area of like the Pacific Ocean, but yeah, it's just terrible. It's like, if you're gonna kill it, at least use the entire thing, you know? Don't just like cut the fin off and then throw it back in to die slowly. I feel like that's just one of the worst things you can do. Yeah, it's also, what is it? It's also fucking up the ecosystem because if the top predator dies, then a lot of the fish or a lot of the stuff that it typically eats overpopulates, and then that overpopulation affects the stuff below it and the stuff below it. You get what I mean? See, I don't get vegan people that do it because they want to save animals because that is part of life. Animals eat animals, but animal cruelty is something I would know. Exactly. Just like, I like to think that if you're going to kill an animal for meat, give it a swift, clean death. Make sure it doesn't feel any pain. Make sure it's not going to have the worst quality of life as it dies.
Well, that ought to do
That
it.
wasn't so bad.
Make sure also it doesn't fuck up the ecosystem so other animals are affected. You know, they were trying to... There was a story I read a couple years ago where they were trying to genetically engineer lions to become vegetarian so they wouldn't kill animals. And I think that leave that sort of shit alone. Just leave it alone.
No,
Because,
sure will.
like,
Victory!
when I read it, the art, like, what I read was, they think it's very cruel the way that, lions kill, like, baby zebras or, just babies, in certain herds in general. They're just, like, make them vegetarians so they don't hurt other animals. Just, like... Exactly, respect life and just... Yeah.
Let's make this quick.
And to me, that is just like the dumbest shit I've ever heard. South America, Chile for my sister's wedding. She's a traveler. She traveled the world, met her husband in Chile. But anyways, the family down there bought an entire live cow and butchered it themselves for food for the wedding. See, it's also like, you have to think about culture when you think of stuff like that. Because it's like... Because people do kill their own farm animals. And I believe, like, local...
That was a good fight.
I believe local farmers... I've grew up around, like, different types of farms. Mainly apple farms, but still farms with animals and stuff. And, local farmers really... Or locals really respect their animals, you know? Process the nutrients the same. Exactly. I think it's... I hate the animal cruelty of like big business farms where you see the videos of them like pushing cows with machines
Don't let your
and
guard down
them
just
completely
'cause we're
draining the
stronger.
life
Sorry,
of the cow.
this might not end well
But
for
a lot of local farmers and like small meat or small milk farms, they really respect their animals.
Take this! All right.
That wasn't so bad.
I think this is my biggest thing. Just like if you're gonna do like a diet change, you have your reason for it, and you do it for you. Just like I wouldn't, if you want to eat meat, don't want to eat meat, that is all on you, but you should never force someone else to view the same thing.
Sorry, but
Wait.
What is it? Also, speaking of like fucking up the ecosystem, in Florida, I'm not sure, I think this was in the early 2000s, I'm not really sure if it stopped or not.
Oh yeah.
So, I can't imagine not eating meat. Just know that if you do it to protect animals, that is stupid. Okay, I have a few opinions on this. So, I feel like people think, like, especially, I'm just gonna do like America, for instance. I don't know what it's like in Puerto Rico. I don't know what it's like in Norway. So I'm just gonna do like America. What we've been talking about. So it's like trying to end the production of beef, chicken, stuff like that because it's America. Because it's cool, right? So if, let's just say, all of America just stops, like that actually happens, they just stop with production, milk production, stuff like that. That is going to severely fuck up the economy so badly. Like, because that is one of the biggest productions that we have to keep money flowing, right? But also, if you think about it from the animal's perspective, so let's say all cow factories just kind of stop production. You're not allowed to slaughter, you're not allowed to milk, blah, blah. Where are the cows going to go? Like, where are they going to stay? Really make the economy of America crumble. Oh, yeah. And we've already had 2 of those. We've already had 2 depressions, basically. Well, we definitely had 1 depression. And then around like 2006, 2008 is when we had, I would call it a depression of sorts. But it's like, if we stop controlled production of beef and cattle and chicken and stuff like that, they're gonna overpopulate because you're not allowed to kill them anymore and control the population. So I think, fucking depression, I'm here, the expert on being depressed. No, Andy, we're not talking about mental depression. Well, we are kind of, because an economy depression brings on mental depression. But I just think it would fuck things over so hard. And I'm not, it's just like a weird, I would say a gray area. Because when I watch those videos of how, that's the reason I don't eat pork. I watched a video on how pigs are treated and how specifically male pigs are neutered when they're very young. And hearing that squeal and seeing how much pain they're in makes me like, I can't eat pork really anymore because I just hear that. So that makes me sick to my stomach. And I hate that. But I think there are respectful ways to get meat from the animal. If you're going to stop doing it, it would have to do it slowly, but it'd still be bad. They would just have to here's the thing. It's like, okay, if you're gonna stop it, then what is the solution to make up for it? And I have yet to hear an explanation to how they would do that. Not to mention, like, it's not just killing the cows, and I'm just using cows because it's a bigger market than like chicken or pork, at least over here. The thing is, it's like, yeah, so it's also deforestation to make farms for cows. But if we were gonna be completely plant-based anyway, and we would have to make up for the cows being absent, wouldn't that just also... Wouldn't you have to deforest stuff to make farms anyway? Like, it may not be beef farms, but it might be tofu farms, like other types of plant farms. And that doesn't guarantee that killing animals will stop. You have to remember, animals tend to tread on farmlands. So you would have to either trap an animal trying to eat your grains, or you have to kill it to get it off the land. And I know this is a very passionate topic. These are just my opinions on it, and I don't really see them changing at all. But yeah, I don't know, if I could get explained how exactly they plan to make up for the fact that one of the biggest parts of the economy would just stop. And like, you also have to think, it just sucks because those big beef productions, they end up making meat that's really cheap so people who are poor can afford it. And poor people already get, like, they get the shortest stick the entire time, no matter what's going on. So it's like, in California specifically, not just America, but in California, the cost of living is already so high that people are having trouble feeding their families. They're facing homelessness. They have to go on food stamps. So if cheap food like beef and milk or stuff with milk products in it stops, and they have to get more expensive, they have to get more expensive food for that. I don't know. That's also gonna fuck everything up. Has to adapt that to that, so they... Now, that's the thing. It's like, I am very against animal cruelty. If I see a cow being pushed with like a forklift, or I see a cow being completely drained of its nutrients, that's heartbreaking. And I absolutely hate that. But like I said many times before, I feel like there are humane ways to get your meat. And that's the thing, it's as well. It's like, I'm against animal cruelty, but it's also, I'm not rich. Sometimes I have to get, or a lot of times you have to get the cheapest option because you have to survive as well.
All right.
Good job.
It's just the way it is. But I feel like, especially for hardcore people who are really into this, it's like, oh, you must not love animals if you're willing to eat meat. It's like, no, I love animals. I do. I'm severely allergic to the majority of animals, but I love animals. I'm also poor. And a lot of plant-based products are not... They can't sustain my living. You know what I mean?
Don't let your guard down just because we're stronger.
Oh, that just... Okay, have you guys had, like, really shitty roommates before? Okay. Even though Onyx is a dick, I can't actually see him killing a mouse.
You did it!
All right!
Itty Bitty has accidentally killed, like, 2 mouses before, but that's because she was swatting it in the head and accidentally killed them. I think she was more curious than, like, I wanted to kill it. But yeah, I had 2 roommates, who were really dumb, and they got a mouse, right? But then they got drunk one night, and, they let the mouse out. Keep in mind, when I have 2 cats, and they were telling me she was curious to what it was and killed it. Yeah, so she kept hitting it over and over again until it died. See, there's that death smoke. Yeah, so they're really drunk and let it out, right? And so they told me, they're just like, or one of them told me just like, hey, like keep an eye on your cats because the mouse got out. In the back of my mind, it's just like, then why the fuck did you let it out in the first place? Knowing I have 2 cats. So anyway, I'm just like chilling in my room one night, and then I see this little thing squeak under like my door and get in my door. So now the mouse is in my room. If I was not home, I would have mouse guts all over my floor, and then I would get blamed for the mouse, their pet mouse dying, even though they're the ones. I think they looked for it also for like a collective 20 minutes.
No kid.
Because they didn't, to my knowledge, the entire time they were sober, they never looked for it. So it's just like, I finally managed to get it inside of a hat and then put it back in the cage, but guess what? To my knowledge, or to my surprise, the cage had 2 doors and they opened both of them. To quote, in case it came back, they wanted both doors open. Instead of looking for it, they just decided to, oh, it'll come back. No. I don't think mice have the same mindset as like dogs and cats do, to where if they go astray, they'll come back because that's where food is. No. Mice will find food. They will always find food. In walls, they'll find food. In other apartments, they'll find food. Outside, like, mice will find food. So will rats. And so it escaped again, and so I was the one to find it and put it back.
Okay.
No, I was so pissed because it's just like, if this mouse dies because you let it out, that is not my fucking fault. And like I said, I've never seen Onyx, when he was an indoor-outdoor cat, I've never seen Onyx kill anything. Oh, I am just going in circles. Which is odd. I would think Onyx, out of the both of them, would be the killer, but he's not. Itty Bitty is.
Yeah!
All right. Don't let your
No, I was just thinking about this the other day, too. Like, I really like nature, despite the fact I'm very allergic to it. But the thing about nature is that nature's fucking brutal. So I'm not really understanding when people are just like, oh, you know,
That was a good
just like, nature this, nature so gentle, blah, blah. Just like, no. There are so many fucking cannibals in nature. Bald eagles, if they have 2 kids, or they have 2 babies, they will feed the weakest baby to the strongest baby. A lot of times, it's like survival of the fittest. So that's why when I hear people saying like, oh, nature is like gentle,
Oh, please.
just like, when? You have ants that eat things alive? Like, I don't think nature is gentle at all.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, like bald eagles, I feel like, not feel like, but I saw a documentary where, you know, the mom or whoever, yeah, it's on the other side. The mom has to make a decision because she can only feed, like, she can only
Let's
feed
make this
2.
quick.
There's only enough food for 2. So if she has a weaker, baby, she will just feed that to the stronger baby. These fish are tasty. No, you're eating the shark.